Issue 5. We started out with Sonic running along a treadmill exercise machine in Green Hill Zone for a morning workout. Why would he bother to do this when he runs around fighting robots every day? He doesn't need exercise. And him staring into the audience's soul instead of staring ahead makes him look stupid and creepy. Sonic is told that he's not running at the speed of sound for some reason, as the treadmill can measure his speed apparently, like Uncle Chuck made it. Who made it specially designed to do that? Not Tails, that's for sure. Sonic actually explains his slowness as being out of shape, but there's no reason he would be with his physically active hero life, chubby or not. So the story starts out stupid right away. Tails calls Sonic vain for blow-drying his hair after a shower from the transforming treadmill. Wouldn't Sonic running be enough to blow-dry completely? Sonic says, "So beautiful, you mean, buddy?" Well, I find his arrogance charming. Why would he want Tails to call him beautiful? That's what girls are complimented with. After that confusing filler, Sonic goes up to 200 burgers on the table and shows that he has a big appetite, so he's fine with trying to eat all of them one by one. Makes logical sense that he'd have a big appetite since he's using so much energy running around all the time. And I absolutely love that he's eating something other than chili dogs for once. Please tell me he's not obsessed with chili dogs in this comic. Suddenly, indeed, Tails gets captured by the long legs of a squid badnik who calls him a little creep instead of freak, missed opportunity there, and threatens to pluck his arms and legs off if he puts up a fight. One that would kill him from blood loss, so then he wouldn't be able to use him as a battery anymore, I assume. So he's probably just bluffing, but if he isn't, why didn't he do it already? Also, that's needlessly grisly, but whatever, he's supposed to be a bad guy. As I find it annoying that it was Tails who was kidnapped once again, like he's just an incompetent burden on Sonic, when they should be targeting Sonic instead as the bigger threat, Sonic goes to Labyrinth Zone. So we are continuing with the Sonic 1 adaptation. We were in Emerald Hill earlier, that's confusing. For no reason, the Badnik decides to tell his enemy Tails that they've been digging and burrowing, those two words mean the same thing, for months, and now it stretches under almost half the planet Mobius. Good, it's called Mobius, but you'd think the planet having such a deep tunnel would be disastrous, and there'd be lava and earthquakes and a huge amount of heat here. Tails gets hit with knockout gas for being sassy. Why didn't they do that earlier to justify him being kidnapped more? And for some reason some useless animal buddies follow behind Sonic, putting themselves in danger as Sonic goes after Tails in the dark tunnel. Sonic says, "Don't be such a girly, Sally." I'm still being expected to believe that thing is Sally. And he says they've got nothing to worry about with him to protect them. Immediately, they narrowly avoid a swinging spike ball and shooting lances, with Sonic calling one of the animals Pixel Brain for saying to just get out of here without helping Tails like a rude coward. So I'm surprised, like, it's not just Tails that he calls that. I'm not going to keep count of when he says Pixel Brain to someone other than Tails, because that wouldn't... I'm trying to make a point with that count. Meanwhile, the Badnik, after mentioning that Robotnik hasn't forgotten that he escaped him before. I'm impressed, first there was continuity having a story arc for the first two issues, and now there's continuity again. It took forever for Archie Sonic to have continuity. The Badnik calls Tails a little freak, Sonic destroys the Badnik, and an animal jumps out of it, self-awarely saying that he's adorable again, so he probably takes advantage of his cuteness too. Are all these animal people really short because they're kids? If so, why is Eggman just targeting kids instead of building bigger battery compartments for his robots? The leader of the Badniks isn't a Badnik, but a pure robot, so Sonic isn't able to destroy him as well, and the labyrinth is flooded, with them all conveniently floating on the surface of the water, and Tails conveniently waking up as someone's mentioning his name. Sonic ironically releases the oiled robot who insulted Tails into the water to pollute it on purpose, with no one lampshading this. And he activates a weapon on the robot suit, which sets the oil on fire, burning the robot alive. Tails tells Sonic he's amazing for simply doing the logical thing literally anyone with oil and fire could have done, and hitting a button. Man, they call Sally a Mary Sue, but Sonic feels more like one than anybody here. Most of the time he earns his praise with the special powers, which disqualifies him from being called a Sue. But here he just got worshipped for pressing a button. And his response is, "Tell me something I don't know," rather than appreciating it like an egomaniac normally would. All of the people who followed Sonic were useless, and it would have been better if one of them hit the button to cause fire, and another one of them made the oil get put around the robot, and another one of them thought of the idea in the first place, instead of Sonic hogging all the usefulness, making the animal buddies' entire contributions, wasting your time with pointless dialogue to read. The story ends with Sonic going to eat an unrealistically large amount of hot dogs and shakes, with Tails saying that he's gross and complaining that he already had breakfast. I don't mind Tails insulting Sonic like he has no chemistry with him in this comic because Sonic dishes out insults to him himself, so it only makes sense with their dynamic being so not best friendly at all. And it's better than Tails always just worshipping Sonic when he's pretty mean to him in this comic. This issue was by Mark Miller. Once again, for a Fleetway issue, the plot is so basic that there's barely anything for me to say about it in the summary. It's a miracle that I have 2 paragraphs. Tails gets kidnapped again by being snuck up on, without even any knockout gas, when you think they prioritize Sonic instead. And Sonic, being accompanied by useless animal buddies who don't do anything for some reason, eventually saves Tails by spilling oil on it from a badnik, I guess, and using a weapon of fire on it. Where'd that weapon come from? Where'd that robot suit come from? Wait, was that the robot that they planned to stuff Tails in? It doesn't look like Tails at all. Anyways, the animal buddies could have been useful here because they could have done this since it doesn't require Sonic's unique powers at all, but instead they did nothing to endear themselves to me enough to make up for their designs being terribly inconsistent with Sonic and Tails, and I still don't care enough to call them by their names.